All right, and now our final presenter is a university-level cell and molecular biology lecturer with an insatiable passion for science outreach to all ages. Enjoy her quirky videos at www.joannelovescience.com or converse with her on Twitter at Science Goddess and on her Joanna Loves Science Facebook. She also writes a blog about science and science in video for the Scientific American magazine's website called SciVid. She is Joanne Manaster.
All right, thank you all for making it this far into these wonderful presentations. I'm here to share with you the events that surround my visit to view the very last NASA Space Shuttle launch and what it means for me, and I hope you'll take a few moments to think about what it means to you too. Photos and video are mine, or courtesy of NASA, or fellow launch viewers. Oh, it is. Okay. Here's a photo from my days in New Mexico, clearly labeled with the salient features of my very first life memory, except for gravity, which we can't see anyway. I recall how I climbed on that fence and gravity brought me down right into the cactus. Like the hazard-prone Wile E. Coyote, I had to have the spines plucked from my backside. New Mexico is also the place of my second life memory. There was excitement in the house as my parents bought a new color TV for a very important event. One warm July evening, my mom yells outside, "Who wants to watch men walk on the moon?" I looked at the moon in the sky and yelled, "Me!" I don't recall actually seeing the event on TV. Did I fall asleep? This is a movie, is it working? Yay! Did I fall asleep, or I don't remember the details? I don't know. Looks like, though, astronauts are having trouble with gravity themselves. Suddenly, my imagination for space travel was captured. As I reached school age, I vividly recall teachers telling me how NASA wanted to build new space travel vehicles that would go in the air like a rocket, but land like a plane, and used over and over. By the time I was a teenager, Space Shuttle Columbia finally launched for a 54-hour test mission piloted by John Young and handsome Robert Crippen. NASA wanted space travel to become commonplace, but twice we were reminded of the hazards involved. A cloud of vapor engulfed Challenger in 1986 upon liftoff, bringing NASA's human spaceflight program to an abrupt but temporary halt. We also discovered that re-entry can be tragic when faulty tiles were blamed for the Columbia disaster. I never saw a launch in person, but it turns out the folks at NASA are pros at social media. If you follow them on Twitter, you too can have a chance to see a launch. I happened to apply along with 5,500 others for 150 spots to see the last shuttle launch. NASA treated us tweeters right. We were housed in a large tent at the press site with Wi-Fi, air conditioning, electrical outlets, while we heard from big names in NASA, met astronauts, and mingled. This is the iconic vehicle assembly building for repairing and stocking the shuttles. One of the large stripes on that flag can park 50 buses end to end. Several former and current astronauts, but not those on the mission, stopped by to speak with us. These two shared the stage with Elmo, and it was heartwarming to hear that Elmo had a keen interest in becoming an astronaut and understood the importance of knowing science, technology, engineering, and math. Of course, I tweeted from the tweet up, and here are some of the cool things I shared. Cool. NASA says biologists are needed for future space travel. Bob Crippen said that as advice to young people, and he also said the future of the space program is fuzzy. I'm not happy about being dependent on Russians for future space travel. The astronauts for Atlantis stand in front of the orbiter as it crawls from the vehicle assembly building to the launch pad. Astronauts are the ultimate and most visible science, technology, engineering, and math ambassadors, so a major theme at the tweet up was the importance of STEM education. This is the Space Shuttle landed on the launch pad. The retracted service portion is to the left on this photo. As part of the tweet-up, we were treated to a view only 600 meters away as this occurred. This was less than 2 hours after lightning was reported to have struck the launch pad during a violent storm that had us confined to our tent earlier that day. This is my note from 2 a.m. the next day indicating that things look good for a launch as there was a 30% chance it would go. 70% chance it wouldn't due to the weather. That doesn't sound good, except NASA never gives launches a greater than 50% chance of launch. The shuttle must launch in a 10-minute window so that it rendezvous properly with the International Space Station. On the day of the launch, the Astrovan carries the 4 astronauts to the shuttle several hours ahead of time. The crew was 4 astronauts: Chris Ferguson, Doug Hurley, Sandy Magnus, and Rex Walheim. Their mission was to stock the International Space Station to keep them in supplies until Russia could send a future rocket. This was the fabulous view of the shuttle launch pad only 3 miles away from us lucky tweeters. The sky was gray, but the poor weather held off, and the launch went off at 11:26 a.m. as scheduled. As you can clearly see from a friend's screenshot of NASA's video coverage, I am at the red arrow near the countdown clock. Is the arrow there? Oh, good. We're watching the countdown at a heart-stopping pause at 31 seconds. We thought it wasn't going to go off. Oh, there's no sound. Anyway, it went. This is from NASA, and it's great with sound. Okay. So I would have added commentary here. There we go. Yeah, really, this is, so the white is water used to dampen the noise and vibration of the rocket. It turned to steam. The gray is the solid rocket boosters being burned. So at a launch, you first see white smoke, then you see gray smoke, and then flame. And the flame is as bright as a welding arc. You hear the rumble, and then you will actually feel it. And the next video was really counting on sound. There we go. This is my video. Yeah, and you're going to see the ground shake. So the vibrations just propagate through, and the crying is not me. The end of the shuttle program is bittersweet. In a few years, though, cooperation with the private sector will accelerate the opportunity for people to travel into space. There will be an increasing emphasis on the drive to go into deep space, which will require more powerful rockets, space colonies, and people with the ingenuity, creativity in science and engineering to make it happen. And this has got me excited about space travel once again. Thank you.